friend of mine who is a phenomenal pasta maker was a great teacher and taught me how to make tortellini.
Hello and welcome to Making It Artisan Stories. I'm Linda Marie Colon and we're cooking up something extra special this episode with Passionately Pasta's Nick Imbriglio. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you are a Wallingford resident.
I am through and through.
And I want to hear all about the journey because we're going to talk about handmade pasta today using local ingredients, artisan style with special shapes that come from the heart. And I want to hear everything from culinary school, and let's go way back because you are an alum of Wallingford Public Schools.
Yes, I am. It wasn't until my junior year where I found a true passion for cooking. Gateway and Johnson & Wales have a partnership program with accreditation. It took me about 2.5 years at Johnson & Wales, and I continued to love what I did and continue to work in the field. A friend of mine who is a phenomenal pasta maker was a great teacher and taught me how to make tortellini for the first time.
Oh, so handmade tortellini.
Handmade tortellini.
Ooh, my favorite.
Yep. Egg dough from scratch and flour and, I realized the amount of attention that you needed to put into the pasta. Studies were not always my strong suit, but something that I can focus on my hands and be meticulous with was something I excelled at, and I fell in love with pasta making that day 78 years ago. From there, it became this giant journey of finding out what pasta shape I could make next or make the dough better or something like that. And I didn't realize how far in depth I was going up until about a couple years ago when someone suggested to me that the only way to make your pasta better was to grind your own flour.
Oh, okay.
I started investing in grain mills and stuff like that, just like the one here.
That's a grain mill. You're taking some local ingredients?
I am. So I get my grain from 4-Star Farms in Massachusetts. Are the closest as far as having a non-GMO grain.
Oh, that's huge.
Yes, it is. The grain itself is called warthog wheat. It contains this very sweet and nutty kind of smell that not only is like on the nose, but it also transfers into the pasta itself.
It retains it.
It does. It's not huge. It's not like a massive, like in-your-face noticeable ordeal, but it's subtle enough that it does make quite a bit of difference in the pasta itself.
So the undertones are there and they sustain through the boiling process and then whatever sauce you choose to layer on.
100%. From, the point of grinding my own flour and sifting it and making it, I started to really fall in love with the process.
These ingredients that are going into the handmade pasta, where, can I ask, are you finding local eggs?
Absolutely. Andrew's Farm, right here in Connecticut.
Nice.
Squash season's coming up, winter squash season, squash made raviolis will be something I might put on the menu.
Let's talk about what kind of handmade pastas,
Absolutely.
What all goes into making these handmade pastas, obviously. Great ingredients to start with.
Yes, great ingredients is definitely the key to making phenomenal pasta. That and having 100-year-old grandmothers that know how to make pasta and make pasta better than I do on a daily basis. I actually watched a lot of YouTube videos and books for.
So you've learned from the best?
Absolutely. Learn from the best, even though they don't know who I am. I have to say, the Italians have mastered the way that you can capture sauce in their pasta, and that comes with different shapes, sizes, and everything. Some of these shapes, obviously your basic tortellini or your ravioli, are ones that I do make, but I also dove deeper and wanted to know what other beautiful shapes were out there.
Sure. Non-traditional?
Non-traditional.
Or at least mainstream?
Absolutely. Non-traditional as far as mainstream, but very traditional from the regions that they're from.
Right, right.
One of the ones that I enjoy making immensely is called agnolotti del pin, and it's a little pouch pasta.
Okay.
That you usually stuff with like pork or vegetable, but I do it with cheese as well for people that aren't meat eaters or want something simple. But the one that I've fallen in love with is probably the most difficult to make, and it's called the culurgiones. Culurgiones is a traditional Sardinian-style pasta in Italy that represents a grain of wheat. It's very unique in its shape. You kind of have to hold it like a taco in some cases, and where you have to pinch the back end, and then you fold the pinches up, and each of the pinches represents one of those little grains of wheat that looks like it comes out to be a wheat stalk.
So it's actually mirroring a wheat stalk
Yes.
right down to the flour
Yep.
and part of it. And
Yep.
this is all done by hand.
All done by hand. I think one of the selling points of that pasta is that nobody knows what it really is until I talk to them about it. When people are interested in the pasta itself, I think it makes them say, this is something different. This is something I would like to try.
It definitely sounds like some great ingredients go into the recipe, non-GMO, local farm provided, and then lots of love. That's the name, Passionately Pasta.
I love playing around with flavors. I do have a squid ink fettuccine that I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay, nice.
And that can transfer into raviolis. I leave the flavored stuff as a special order. Pastas.
You just mix it into the egg dough, or you...
I actually chop it up and I'll fold it in. Like sometimes when I do the colorgiones, which traditionally is a potato and cheese filling,
Okay.
I'll do a potato and black garlic filling.
Oh, wow.
Which is nice and flavorful.
Sounds amazing.
Yes, it really is. It's wonderful. Artisanal crafted pasta is not something you come across very often
No,
nowadays.
you don't. And locally, we're so lucky you're right here in Wallingford.
Yes. My extruded dough is just flour and water.
That's great to know. So
Yes.
there is something for the vegan.
And I do have a gluten-free dumpling that I can make for people that need to eat gluten-free.
Absolutely. So gluten-free eaters can enjoy Passionately
Yes,
Pasta. You have
yes.
something for everyone.
I want everybody to enjoy my pasta, and I know that people have different flavors and tastes and stuff like that. My goal was to make sure that everybody loves what I do.
Definitely.
Because I want everybody to love what I do.
And you certainly love what you do.
I do. I'm very happy that the responses I've been getting from my fans are exceptional, and to have been able to start this business and to continue to push forward.
Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Nick and Briglio, Passionately Pasta, artisan handmade pastas. Thank you for watching, and bon appetit. If we are interested in purchasing pastas of all of these that we've talked about, Facebook and Instagram are the best ways to direct message you under Passionately Pasta.
Part of the thing I love at the market is I love talking to people about pasta, but I love hearing their questions, their concerns. When it comes to my homemade pastas and stuffed pastas, each one is made